Hey guys, so today I'm not only going to walk you guys through the back 9 of the TPCKL West course, but I'm also going to do a little what's in the bag video. So please stay tuned. I'll be showing you guys what clubs I'm using while I hit them. So I didn't want a little boring what's in the bag like most people do, because I don't want to sit down and just tell you guys what I'm hitting. I wanted to show you guys instead. So I hope you guys stay tuned to find out what clubs I'm using. Over here I'm hitting a 3-wood, and yes, it went in the water. I figured that the 3-wood is not the club for this hole, so I'm not hitting 3-wood here ever again. So this is the ball that I'm using. It's a Pro V1X, and if you guys haven't really got fitted for a golf ball or know what golf ball you're using, please go look up information about it and don't simply just use whatever golf ball you find, because the golf ball does play a role and it can make a difference. I find especially it's not really important how far the ball goes, because some ball definitely does go further. But I think that more importantly, you need to check spin rates and things like that, because if you're somebody who needs the ball to spin more, that the ball is going to make a big difference. So don't forget to check things out like that. And especially once you're at a certain level, I think things like the ball can definitely make a huge difference. So, and even if you're not, you might never know, maybe changing a ball if you're not using the right one can cut your few strokes here and there, and that could be the difference between you breaking 100, breaking 90, breaking 80, whatever it is. So don't forget to get your golf balls checked if you haven't already, and make sure you're using the right one. So I made a bogey in the first hole after going in the water, and here we have the second hole, which is a par 3. And yes guys, I know I said I'm going to do what's in the bag, and I promise it's coming, so please keep watching. So also a little forewarning, I'm not a very technical person, so I'm not going to really go in that much detail about the clubs in my bag. Not because I don't want to, but honestly I don't really know what the specs are exactly, and you'll find out a little bit later. But I leave most of it up to my club fitter Eric, and he's my coach and my club fitter, so he knows exactly what I need and what my swing does, my swing tendencies and stuff like that. So I trust him with my clubs, and I basically just leave it up to him. And if you're lucky enough to find somebody who knows how to fit you well, I think it's fine to trust your clubs up to them. But if you're also a person who really likes technology and likes being invested in your clubs, obviously it's not a wrong thing to know what your clubs are as well. But I honestly am quite clueless when it comes to clubs, so I'm really sorry about how simple my explanation of my clubs are going to be. So par in the second hole, the par 3. Over here we have the third hole, which is a par 4. Also guys, I wanted to show you guys these first 3 holes without really showing you my clubs, because to be honest, I didn't really hit very good shots. But I still wanted to include those first 3 holes because, you know, golf is not perfect. You're not always going to hit perfect shots. So even if you struggle, you still always have more holes to go. Unless you're already on the 18th hole, well then you just have to come back another day and play another round. So anyway, as you can tell, I went a little bit right there and it hit the cart path. So I actually had a very short club coming into this pretty long hole. But because this tree was in front of me and it was really high, I was trying to play a draw because I didn't think I could get over it. But as you'll be able to tell, I went straight into the tree. And I also didn't catch that very good, so obviously it didn't have enough height. But I tried it again. And this is always a good thing if you have nobody behind you. It's good to practice this kind of things, because I know now that instead of trying to hit a draw, I could definitely hit it over if I just open the club face a bit and play the fade instead. So next time I have a situation like this, I know that I can go over the tree confidently. So these kind of things you can't practice on the driving range. So when you have the opportunity, always take the opportunity to practice it. So as you could tell just now, my tree hit the ball and came straight down. So this was my third shot. I'm hitting a pitching wedge here and just hitting a little punch one because I needed to make sure that it was low enough to not hit that front tree. As you can tell, pitching wedge is going to go higher, so you definitely want to keep it low. First goal is always to avoid the tree. After that, I left myself with this chip here. I'm using a 58-degree wedge because as you can tell, there's a bunker in front of me, so I do need to carry it a little bit higher. And I left myself with a putt for bogey, sorry. Not putt for par, but you know, at least bogey is better than double. So let's move on to the next hole, which is another par 4. And I swear the what's in the bag is coming soon, guys. So this par 4 is uphill. Over here we are playing, these are actually the white tee box, so it's not as far as it normally is. But it's much more accessible, especially for us when we're playing off this tee box, because the blues can get really long especially when the pin's behind, and it's just because the entire hole is uphill. So even from here you can see that I am hitting on an uphill lie because the entire hole just goes uphill. So you definitely want to hit more club here. I was hitting a 7 iron there because the pin's in front. And say hi to Diane. Apparently the ball landed right on her head. You know when you think you hit a good putt, but then it just doesn't go in the hole and it doesn't break? Yep, that's exactly what happened there. And trust me, I tried it again. I took straight and it broke. So I don't know if it was me or the green or the hole or whatever it is, but I'm not going to take that putt too seriously and move on to the next hole. So this is a par 4 downhill, as you can tell, bordered on the left side. So I'm actually hitting a 3-wood here because the 3-wood is going to get me past those first bunkers and right in between the second and third bunkers. So it leaves me with a good distance. I hit that 3-wood very good, and it was exactly where I was planning to go. So I'm very happy with that shot. So now I can show you guys my 3-wood, which is a 14.5 degree, but I do have it on the small plus setting, which for pings I'm pretty sure it's plus 0.6. So it's a 15.1 degree 3-wood. And so I did order this custom from Ping, but they are the stock shaft. As you can tell, the length's 43, and I'm just playing a stiff shaft. So that is my 3-wood for you guys. After that shot, like I said, I was just in between those two bunkers, so I was perfect here. I just had a little 9 iron. Obviously this hole, the pin, when it's behind there and above that slope, you do want to take more club because it will take more for you to carry up that slope. And I landed it just nice that it was on top of the slope, but it almost went over the green. But I still left myself with a putt for birdie, so it's not too bad. And this was my putt. Unfortunately, I rammed it. I don't know why I putted that so hard, but I just had this 3-footer coming back. And just a simple tap-in par. On the next hole, this is a par 3. So I'm actually hitting a 7 iron here, which was, the wind was a little bit left to right and a little bit helping. So that's why I'm hitting a 7 iron here. You do need to carry it the distance because the pin was in front. And I pushed that right, but here you can see, so I'm going to show you my 7 iron, which is basically obviously all the irons that I'm using. It's the G410, and I know when a lot of people see my irons, they ask me why I'm using amateur irons, but honestly, if a club is going to help you play better, why does it matter? You don't really have to play blades if they're not going to make you hit better. All that matters is the club is what's suited for you. So even though I didn't hit a good shot there, I usually do hit good irons. Although that probably wasn't the best example, but I swear they were fitted to me and I do love them. But you know, every now and then you make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And I had that chip downhill there with a 58 degree. I thought it was going to roll out more, but it didn't. So this was the putt that I had left for par. And what a great save. So after a good putt, I can now show you guys my putter, which is the Phantom 5.5X. So Scotty Cameron. And it is 33 inches. Yep, I believe the length of putters are in inches, right? I'm sorry guys, I'm really bad at this whole technology thing, so I wasn't kidding. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know about my putter, is that it's 33. The length is 33, so I'm sorry, that's all I can tell you. And this is the next hole. It's a par 4. I'm hitting a hybrid here. I thought it was a bit downwind, so it was going to be able to carry that bunker, but apparently the wind stopped when I hit it and it just landed at the edge of the bunker. So this was what I hit, a G410 as well, and it's a 4 hybrid 22 degrees. So it kind of replaces my 4 iron, and the shaft, everything is the same. It's just the same stiff shaft that I use, stock shaft from Ping. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. The length is 39.75 if anybody cares about that. So after that shot, as I said, it was just at the edge of the bunker, but I'm hitting a 48 degree here because you do want to take more club most of the time when you're in the bunker. And I hit a really good 48 degree out of there. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys the 48 degree that I use. If you guys want to know more about my wedges, you can always go see my wedge fitting video, and it's a 10F. So for those of you guys that want to know, it's 10F. That's about all I know about my wedge. So after that wedge from the bunker, I left myself with this putt for birdie. Click like now if you think I'm gonna make it, because I did. So birdie, sandy birdie. Next hole is a par 4. So this one you can go either left or right, and because I wanted to show you guys my driver, I actually decided to go to the left side today. But honestly, you can go either way. Both of it has its risk and also has its reward, so I guess it just really depends on what you feel comfortable with. And you know, there's no right or wrong with golf, but there are stupid shots and smart shots, so you do need to make sure that you're hitting the shot that's good for you. So as I said, this is the driver that I'm using. It's the Ping G400, and it's the LST, which is low spin technology. And this is my shaft, Patterson Kinetic X Ballistic. So I get asked a lot about this club, and I'm pretty sure part of the shaft is actually made from Kevlar, which is that thing that they use to make bulletproof vests, and that's why it actually originated with like long drivers, but then they did something to it so that people can use it for regular play. So I've been using this shaft for a while now, and initially why I wanted to use it was so that I could hit the ball higher, and I definitely do. So anyway, this is my 58-degree wedge, which is what I just hit, and it is an 8M. Again, as I said, if you want to know more about my wedges, it's all in my wedge fitting video. Andrew can tell you more about it because I have no clue. So this is the putt that I had for birdie. And if you click like now and I make it, you're gonna make 2 birdies in your next round. I hope you clicked it, because if not, you just missed out on 2 birdies, guys. So we're finally on to the last hole, which is a par 5. So I guess I could have showed you guys my driver in this hole, but I had a little brain fart and I didn't think about it. But anyway, here's my drive on the last hole. And this hole, there are bunkers on the right side, so you do want to hit it down the left side a little bit, but I did hit that very solid, so that's why my reaction was like that. But it's just on the side rough, but not the very best lie, especially when you want to go above those bunkers. So I am hitting a 5-wood here instead of a 3-wood, even though it's really far from the green, because I do want to make sure that I get enough height on it that it carries those bunkers, especially on that downhill lie. And that's exactly what I did. So let's just show you my 5-wood. So this is my 5-wood. It's 17.5 degree, and as it has that little small plus as well, so plus 0.6. And again, the exact same shaft, and I do use a thicker grip for those of you guys who have noticed, because I have very weird hand proportions. So also, if you've never checked about your grip, that is something important as well, because not everybody's hands are the same, and I never knew the importance of making sure that your grip, well, is the right grip for you. So it's definitely important to make sure that you have the right grip, because your grip is one of the basics of golf, and if your grip is not correct, you are not going to be able to play your best golf. So before I babble on forever, I hope you guys kind of have an idea of what I'm using in my bag. I think basically the irons are all the same, and I just showed you guys my woods and my putter because a lot of you guys have been asking that. And if you guys want to know more, please let me know what else you want to see. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys next time.